All right, so Scott Cassin, C-A-S-S-I-N, Fire Chief, Pasco County Fire Rescue. Obviously, we received an incredible amount of interest in this particular story, so I appreciate all of you coming out to cover it this morning. As we all know, on this past Friday afternoon, September 13th, firefighter Hunter Garcia of our agency was involved in a motor vehicle accident along with his young wife and infant daughter while they were traveling down Van Dyke Boulevard in northern Hillsborough County. They were involved in a very violent, high-speed T-bone style crash that occurred about 2 p.m. that afternoon. Firefighter Garcia is 23 years old and has been a career firefighter with our agency now for just a little under 2 years. Firefighter Garcia and his family sustained significant injuries from the accident and were transported to St. Joseph's Hospital in Tampa, where they were listed in serious to critical condition. Firefighter Garcia and his wife both sustained multiple injuries, including broken bones and soft tissue injuries, and as of today continue to heal and improve in condition. Their 5-month-old daughter, Clara, sustained life-threatening injuries as a result of the accident that ultimately involved 4 vehicles and multiple collisions. It is unfortunately with an extremely heavy said she was only 5 months old. From the moment we received word of the accident, members of our senior staff here at Pasco Fire Rescue, along with members of our union local here and members of the Pasco County Fire Rescue Benevolence Association, Firefighter Charities of Pasco, all came together and were immediately sent to the hospital to be by the family's side during this event. And they are all there today to continuing with that support. Leadership from the IAFF Union Local was here today, along with the Benevolence Association and the Firefighters Charities of Pasco, and they have begun meetings with the family to discuss funeral arrangements, and those discussions are ongoing. The family has agreed to a public service, so that'll probably occur sometime next week, along with a family-only private graveside service. We'll hopefully have all the information, all the details on the public service, maybe later today, if not by tomorrow. As I mentioned at the top of the segment, the outpouring of support has been absolutely incredible. And because of that, the Firefighter Charities organization is setting up an account with a PayPal link for individuals that have expressed interest in making a monetary donation. They'll have the ability to do that. We hopefully will have that link available to the media later on today, and it'll be on all of our social media sites as well. I do want to thank all of our partners at Hillsborough County Fire Rescue specifically, also Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, FHP, and others who helped work the accident that occurred on Friday by keeping us informed, and you know, the members from the Hillsborough County Fire Rescue that actually stayed at the hospital waiting for our members to show up so they could provide information to us. Also to all the other agencies, the politicians, the representatives of the different constitutional offices, and of course the members of the public. Local International Association of Firefighter Union, Local 4420, John Michael Morin. And you'll probably have to spell your name for the folks here.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you all for coming. Here at Pasco County Fire Rescue, we've developed a strong program where multiple stakeholders come together to support firefighters when a tragedy like this occurs. We have a chaplain's corps. We have a stress management and peer support system that's available to provide mental health services to Hunter and Kayla, as well as their family, Hunter's crew members and colleagues who are close to the family. We also have 2 other organizations, as the Chief mentioned, in Firefighters Charities of Pasco and the Fire Rescue Benevolent Association, both of which have been instrumental in coordinating assistance for the Garcia family. The Benevolent Association has been coordinating efforts with a tremendous benefactor of ours in Tom Dobies from Dobies Funeral Home and Trinity Memorial Gardens to coordinate the funeral services at no charge to the family. Firefighters Charities of Pasco is responsible for coordinating all the fundraising efforts, and the public can make a donation through PayPal at the charity's website at ffcpasco.org. The link will also be available through the Facebook page for Firefighters Charities of Pasco. Checks can also be made payable to the Firefighters Charities of Pasco and sent to the P.O. Box 1277-1277 in San Antonio, Florida 33576. I'd like to offer a special thank you to our brothers and sisters at Hillsborough County Firefighters Local 2294 for their valiant efforts last week, for their high-quality patient care, and their effective scene management for what was a very stressful situation. They should be commended for their professionalism. And lastly, I'd like to recognize the fine men and women of the Pasco County Professional Firefighters Local 4420 who remain by the family's side and will stay there for as long as it takes for the family to heal. The members have covered Hunter's shifts for the next 2 months and will continue to do so if necessary. We will stand ready to help any way we can. Firefighters from all over the Tampa Bay area have reached out and are anxious to help. And for that support, we are grateful. Firefighter families are a special breed of people. Our Chief and I'd be happy to take any questions.
Chief, have you met with Hunter personally, and what can you tell us about how the family's doing?
Yeah, so immediately as soon as I found out about the accident, I went down to the hospital myself and have been there several times since. And you know, the first night that I went and saw the family, I saw all of them, and you know, it was interesting that Hunter's number one thing that was on his mind at the time was getting his shift covered because he knew he wasn't going to be able to come back to work. But that's just a, you know, that's a clue as to what kind of individual he is. But outside that, you know, I don't think he really grasped the enormity of the situation at the time because he was still in shock. It had only been just a few hours since the accident at that point. But you know, when I saw him progressively after that, he's been in really good spirits. And you know, he's remarkably been doing well and improving in his condition at the hospital. Him and Kayla both, actually. So they've been receiving, you know, some positive news over the last couple of days as far as their treatment and prognosis. I don't know if we got it, Corey. He was released. So Hunter was released last night, actually, from the hospital. However, you know, big props to St. Joseph Hospital for allowing Hunter to actually remain in the same room with his wife. They were able to make accommodations so he could actually stay there and be with his wife as she's now on a little bit longer road to recovery.
What is her condition?
I don't know do we have an official condition from the hospital? I know she received multiple fractures, so that's going to be her big battle is to heal back from those. But I have not heard as far as what her prognosis is, other than it was positive.
Chief, how does something like this affect the fire department and everyone that works in it?
So that's an excellent question. You know, we respond on calls all day, every day. And you know, in Pasco here, we average about 200 calls every single day, very much like what we went on that day, or what Hillsborough responded to. But you know, when it involves one of your own employees and their family, it's like a part of your family. And you know, that's one thing that, you know, John Michael and I were talking about, I believe it was yesterday, about, you know, not just Pasco, but the fire service in general. We are all one big family. And an event like this, when, you know, one of our own firefighters is involved, especially with the circumstances surrounding this particular incident, you know, we all come together. It doesn't matter what uniform you wear, what badge, what your badge says. You know, we're all one big group. So we've all come together, and you know, I can say personally that Pasco County Fire Rescue is really, really good at that. You know, we've had, you know, unfortunately, we've had a few incidents in the recent years where we've done this very same thing, and each time it's just amazing the outpouring of what our guys will do. You know, like John Michael mentioned, we've had our guys and gals have already volunteered. They're not asking for payback. They're working his shifts all the way through, I believe, Thanksgiving into December. They've got him covered if he needs them to be covered. So it's been just remarkable. And we have all kinds of our folks that are waiting to start meal trains and provide monetary support, whatever the family needs, even move them out of their second floor apartment if they need. Won't be able to go up and downstairs for a while. So it's been really impressive.
I have a baby that's very young at 5 months, so I don't even know if there's a possibility to discuss organ donation. So I think encourage them to consider.
I know there was a discussion, but I do not know the outcome of that. Have you heard anything? No, I don't know.
That would be for the family to disclose if they chose.
I know you said, Chief, that it's particularly difficult, obviously, when it's a member of your own family, so to speak.
Right.
But this must also impact the empathy that each firefighter has now going to another scene, realizing that there's an extended family of workers and other people that are impacted by everything that you have to.
Absolutely, and that happens. That happens a lot, actually. Even with just running normal calls, we empathize with the victims that are involved and that we deal with. So, and then we've had, again, unfortunately, we've had a lot of incidents that are very similar to this one, where we've had children of our firefighters that have been in a similar circumstance, and then now they have to go out and do just that, just like you say, they have to, but we're really good at being able to focus on the moment. We know what our job is. We do that, and then we process afterwards. And we have a lot of mechanisms in place because PTSD is a real thing in our industry, and we see that. And we've kind of gone on the offensive in this particular case, so we're getting out ahead of it because we know that no matter what happens, that Hunter is eventually going to be faced with the same situation, but with somebody else, and we want to make sure that he's going to be able to handle that appropriately. So, John Michael, did you have something
And I would
else
just like to add that I did stop yesterday and spoke with our brothers down in Hillsborough County at Station 34 to check in on the crews, recognizing that's a very stressful situation. I have all the confidence in the world that they
even his crew that Hunter works with, the rest of them all came to work. I think it was Sunday was their shift day. They all showed up. Obviously Hunter was not there, so for them, they've got a member of their crew that they work with day in and day out every third day that's not there with them, and that's a toll on them as well, knowing that their comrade is now in the critical care unit at a hospital. So we sent our team, our critical incident stress management team, down to the station just to sit with them and see how everybody was doing. And I'm happy to report they were doing very, very well. They were there at the onset. The whole crew showed up at the hospital immediately as they found out. So they were with him, in the early hours to let them know that they're there for him.
What station do you work at?
Right here. So I'm the fire chief, so I'm based out of headquarters here. And then John Michael, you're assigned to Station 24 in Dade City.
No, Hunter.
Oh, Hunter, I'm sorry. He is at Station 11.
So has it been determined which vehicle the family was in the crash? I know there were several of them.
I don't know the answer to that. No, unfortunately, I do not know which of the vehicles. I saw the picture, and it was, obviously devastating, a lot of damage, so it really...
Are no further updates in the crash investigation at this time?
Heard any? No.
Charges could be pitted.
John Michael, if you would spell your last name, sir.
Yes, sir. Morin.
Thank you, Chief.
All right. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming.